What's up, everybody? Today we gotta talk about PlayStation Not So Classic because they finally revealed the full list of 20 games that you're gonna get if you spend your hard-earned $100. So we're gonna jump right into the games first. I just want to list the games before we get into the meat of what I want to talk about today. So, Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy 7, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Outerworld Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2, Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms to round it out. So, 20 games. I also get second controller, so that's cool. I don't know how many of those are co-op. Probably at least half of those have to be co-op. I know a few of them offhand, but so anyways, before we get into the games, I want to talk about one reason why, or possibly why, this games lineup is so underwhelming. Because honestly, it kind of is for me, and I've seen around, or used on Twitter and some other videos. I think the No did one, and yeah. So licensing issues is always a thing in the gaming industry because those it's all fun and games. We all know that everybody loves video games. Well, not everybody, but people love video games. But at the end of the day, it's still a business. So those things have to be maintained, and they have to be taken into account when you're talking about bringing games back that were originally released, 20 years ago. Like, a lot happens in that time span. So whenever we're talking about licensing issues, always use Activision and Marvel as a great example, because Activision was publishing and developing tons of Marvel games. Some of them based on the movies, and then just based on their IPs as well, like original games based on those characters. And after a while, I don't remember what year it was, but at a point that deal ran out, it was over. So Activision didn't have a hand in Marvel video games anymore. So all those little games, when you weren't, I just think of Marvel Ultimate Alliance, maybe the Gold Edition had some DLC characters, and after a while, if you didn't have them, or if you didn't have whatever edition it was, I think it was the Gold Edition. I want to say, I'm fairly certain it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and I could just look it up, but I'm not going to. But if you didn't have those characters, after a while, they were just gone. They were taken down from the store. You weren't able to buy those games anymore. Every DLC, all this stuff was just gone. So if you didn't have it, it was wrapped. But and it's usually a bigger issue when I know it's also an issue when dealing with remasters and stuff like that. So, but talking about something like a classic, like a mini, bring those games back in a collection like this. So that's also a reason, or that is one of the main reasons why I believe this lineup wasn't as great. Because there are tons of great games on PS1, and I have a bunch of them. But you have to, yeah. So you really just have to think about licensing issues, and I don't know if if you have the games on your system, you should be able to get to them still. So I don't know what else could be holding them back. Another big thing is this is business, so they know they're already charging $100. That was already set, and then they revealed the lineup. So it could just be a business move, and PlayStation being PlayStation, this is business. So they were like, hey, we don't have to make this fantastic lineup. People are still going to pay $100 for these games. So let's go into the games now. When I saw this list, my eyes actually kind of widened up for a couple of specific reasons. Battle Arena Toshinden is a game I was thinking about this, Battle Arena Toshinden 3, I think. Pretty sure it's 3. But I've never heard anybody else talk about this game. It's a fighting game that hasn't been around in forever. I'm pretty sure there's at least 3 of them, but it might have just been 2. But Battle Arena Toshinden, I just remember playing this one, 1 or 3, whichever one, way back. So it's just kind of wild to see this brought back in 2018. Cool Borders, I haven't seen Cool Borders in so long. I remember that one. Snowboarding, skiing, I don't remember what else was on there, but that was just wild. Or what am I thinking of? Too Extreme. I don't remember now. I got it mixed up. Destruction Derby, never played that. Never played Final Fantasy 7. I have played Grand Theft Auto, a little bit of that. Intelligent Cube, no. Jumping Flash, no idea what that is. Actually reminds me of the Whoopi Goldberg movie, Jumping Jack Flash, like Cold World, or she's like a computer. She worked for like some computer company or something, and I think she got like sucked in, or she got pulled into the Cold War, or something like that. It was weird. It was like 80s. Metal Gear Solid, one of the greatest games of all time. Didn't think we'd ever see that one come back again because it's never included in any of the Metal Gear Solid collections. It was always usually like 2, 3, and some other stuff. So that's coming back. I do have that on. Actually, I have 2 copies of that on PS1. Mr. Driller, never heard of that. Oddworld, Apes Odyssey. I do remember Oddworld, never played it. I just remember character. I don't know, Rayman. Wasn't that? Wait, no. Resident Evil Director's Cut. Just because that's cool. You gotta have a Resident Evil game. And then there did the Resident Evil Remaster, which came out last year. I think it was last year. And then Resident Evil 2 coming out next January. I'm definitely getting that one. Revelations Persona. It's where I saw the Persona title, but I didn't know it was called Revelations Persona, so that was kind of weird. Ridge Racer Type 4. Do you remember Ridge Racer? I had Ridge Racer 1. Still, my copy of Ridge Racer 1 was always popping every so often. That's kind of fun to play. And the soundtrack is actually kind of cool. Plus, it was dope because you could, once you got the game loaded up, first of all, it's by Namco, and they have they have the best loading screens in the world because you go play while in the beginning, like the initial load up, it's, I don't remember what title it is, whichever Namco arcade shooter they had, but you could play that while the game's loading up, so that was dope. And then you could take the game out. It already had a pretty cool soundtrack, honestly, but you could take the game out and put in a CD and like play music, like play your own CD, and you could play through the rest of the game fine. Like that was way ahead of its time. That was dope. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I don't care about that. Really should have been like Street Fighter or Street Fighter Alpha. That would have been dope. Siphon Films, never played that, or Tekken. Never really played many Tekkens. Rainbow Six would be cool to play. I didn't know there was a Rainbow Six on PS1, honestly. That was new to me. I thought it started on PS2. Twisted Metal, do remember that. I had a lot of good times on Twisted Metal. That was fun. And I never played Wild Arms. So, one of my big questions for you all is, what titles did you guys want or hope to see in the PlayStation Classic? Some of the titles I wanted, one title I really want, and I still want to see, is On Under, Squaresoft. This is back when they were Squaresoft. Or just Square, whatever title they were ran by then. But I want to see that game because it's never been re-released. I don't think it's available on any. I don't think it's ever been available digitally on like PS3, and I'm pretty sure it's not on PS4. So I'm pretty sure I looked several times, hoping for the best. But Iron Hunter, this crazy dope game. Visually, it's fantastic. I told you about it before, so I'm not even going to gush over too much now. But just go look it up, and you'll see it's way ahead of its time visually. Soundtrack was dope, and just the gameplay was fun. That and some of the games I actually like. Tomb Raider games, which was wild. Tomb Raider was big on PS1. We got Metal Gear Solid. Oh, you know what? And then there is actually, we're gonna go check this out really quick because I think in Japan, their lineup is different. So let's see, because I know there's a Parasite Eve and exclusive games in Japan. Yeah, they get bloody Parasite Eve, which is wild. American, oh yeah, blah blah blah. The Japanese version focuses on RPGs and side-scrolling shooters. PlayStation Classic Japan exclusives: Arcalad 2, Armored Core, Gradius Gaiden. What the hell is Sai? I don't know what that is. Saga Frontier, G Darius, and Parasite Eve. Now, I never played a Parasite Eve game, but I would have loved to have played one because there's several games they could have dropped from this one included and swapped for Parasite Eve, and I would have been more than okay with that. And like Legacy of Kain, none of those games. Like I said, we do get Resident Evil again. We do get a Resident Evil title, Metal Gear Solid, Persona, and I didn't even know Cypher. Well, I did know Cypher Filter was on there. Tekken, so got some classic fighting games on there as well. A couple older games, but Tenchu, like you get a Tenchu game. That would have been crazy. And then Spider-Man. See, like Spider-Man, PS1 was a dope game, but they don't have access. Like that license is gone, so that's out. There were a couple Mega Man games, Mega Man Legends. Could have brought that back. What else we got up here? Yeah, like Spec Ops. That's cool games because I liked it, but I don't think they're not that great. But I enjoyed them so. And actually could have put both first two Resident Evils, or even all three, honestly. You just packed all three of them on the bad boys on here. So yeah, honestly, as I said, underwhelming. And a few of these titles I never heard of, but that's just me. So that's complete ignorance for some of these. But different strokes for different folks. There might be tons of people out there who I haven't heard who just like, oh yeah, those games are dope. Like I love these games. So hey, if whoever loves all these titles, then that's perfect for you. The audience for this is going to be wide. I don't know if it'll be as big as it was for the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo classics, because those are just still from so many more years before the PlayStation dropped, but then still got a whole new audience, so you never know. There's like the gaming audience, the gaming community grows bigger and bigger as gaming grows, as more people just get into gaming, so there's more people, yeah, so the audience just gets bigger. So there's a lot there, but as I said, it's still just kind of underwhelming. So what I want to know from you guys is, what titles were you hoping to see and expecting? And are you even interested in this? Are you willing to drop $100 on this? 20 games that aren't so classic, but you do get 2 controllers. I don't know what did they release the length of controllers? Because that could be an issue too. No one wants to be sitting 2 feet away from your TV playing this. But you got quite a few co-op games, got some fighting games there, and that's cool. I don't know. I want to see Rainbow Six. I didn't even know Rainbow Six was on PS1. I just remember Rainbow Six 3 on PS2, and never actually looked into the other ones prior. So, yeah. So yeah, let me know what you thought about those. If you're even considering getting this, where do you? I don't know, man. Classics, everything's come back, man. Like 80s, everything in the 80s rock. So a lot of that stuff's come back. And just the idea of classic and retro things coming back to people, and people gaining access to the stuff they loved as a kid, and just kind of the stuff they grew up on, and bring that back as an adult and being able to share that with other generations. That's dope. So we're gonna see a lot of this, and none of this is gonna end. We already know this is just gonna be the beginning, and then pretty sure people are still hoping for N64 classic. But I don't think the N64 was even that great, but that's just me. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of the PlayStation Classics full 20 game lineup. And if you're gonna drop your money on this, and what other titles, I'm really curious to see what titles you hope to see. Like I said, Einhander is a game that I've been wanting to get a hold of again. And I look it up on eBay every so often, just kind of check it out. But I don't know if I can drop the 70, 80, 90 bucks that they're off, usually around like 80, 90 bucks or something. So I don't know if I can drop that much on it. Just bring that back for me, man. Can we do that? Somebody bring Einhander back. Yeah. So yeah, that's the PlayStation Classic. Just want to talk about that and engage everybody, see what everybody's feelings was on this and Sony, and what are your thoughts on why, once there's some theories on why this lineup was so underwhelming, if you believe so. If not, hey, then more power to you. So, yep. Sign off in the comments below. This is GENOthaDRAGON. So thanks for watching. Game on.